I asked on both Reddit and YouTube what people's thoughts on Tom were, and I got some varying results. Here's an example. This guy said, "I love him so much, he's my favourite character." Aw, that's nice. But this guy said, "He is absolute gutter trash, and I hope he drowns on his lifeguard job." Love heart emoji. Some said he would be better without Jake. Some said they love him in season 1, but he kinda fell off. And other people made incredibly thought-provoking contributions, such as, "I don't care," throwing up emoji, and "It kinda feels like incest. What the fuck is wrong with people?" But the general consensus I got was that he was amazing in season 1, deserves to die a slow, painful death and rot in hell in All Stars, and was decent in Tomjake, and my YouTube community tab just said he was silly. Now, do I agree with this? Okay, well maybe not completely. I do agree that from a writing perspective, he was terrible in All Stars and amazing in season 1, but I'm gonna make a bold claim. He was at his best in Tomjake. But why? What made him so good in the first place? Why was his arc executed so poorly in All Stars? And how did Tomjake fix it? Well, I have no idea. Okay, but seriously, let's answer these questions.
I have to go clean my socks or something.
As I mentioned in the Kai video, Tom's season 1 design is actually amazing. Most of his face is obscured, which immediately leads to the intrigue surrounding him. It makes the audience ask, why is he hiding his face? What secrets is he hiding, and what impact will it have on the game? First of these is immediately asked by Dan in episode 1, to which he replies,
Actually, I can't get much sun exposure. My skin is a bit sensitive.
Okay.
This is obviously a lie. The idea of his character is genius and something that hasn't really been done before in any survivor-based show. Now, throughout the first 3 episodes, we do get little hints as what could be going on, but not that much. It's more building up suspense than actually telling us anything about him. His walkie-talkie and Drew's elimination are excellent examples of this. But as well as that, he has this one particular dynamic with a certain character, and that character is Dan. Wait, hold on, that doesn't seem right. Wait a minute, just give me a sec, I gotta do something real quick. Oh yeah, sorry, I meant Jake. This dynamic is really well executed. They already start to get along in episode 1, but the talk they have about Jake's grandma in episode 2 really characterizes Tom as an afraid yet genuinely caring guy. Hey, editing score, hey. This is completely unrelated, but in order to make this video, I had to rewatch this French Camp season 1. And during the scene where Fiore burns Nick and Lil's stuff, the sound design is, interesting.
I think I know who did it.
Who?
In the morning, I saw Lil come out of the tent with your backpack and Ashley's.
Lil?
What? What are you talking about?
Lil, what in the Queen's name did you do?
I didn't do anything. These are blatant lies. You're lying through your teeth, little girl.
I think I better go.
Okay, I added that last one in, but still. Anyway, let's get back to Ninjago or whatever the fuck this guy's talking about. Throughout these first few episodes, Jake and Tom have great chemistry. They seem like 2 people who genuinely get along and seem to bring the best out in each other. They're presented as a very likeable pair who not only you want to see get along, but you want to see Tom open up about what's really going on to both the audience and Jake. But this dynamic really shines when it's revealed Jake's grandmother has passed away. This is not only a heartbreaking scene for Jake, but also in a way kind of for Tom. We know he wants to be as comforting and there for Jake, but he can never really do that with a hidden identity. He's supportive, yes, but he's definitely still hiding a lot from Jake. Regardless, this scene is great and really establishes the bond these two have. But throughout all of this, one problem becomes more obvious. Tom was still hiding something from Jake. It becomes clear that he's a spy on a mission to investigate Jensen, but we don't actually know why. Eventually, Gret catches onto this and waits until the perfect moment to reveal it to Jake, who obviously doesn't buy it. So, when he talks to Tom, it leads to this scene.
Tom, you're not gonna believe this.
Believe what?
Gret was saying the strangest things about you.
What did she say?
She said that you were the one who voted for Drew because, get this, he found out you were a spy?
Shh! Keep your voice down.
Wait, what? It's true?
It's not that simple.
Oh my god. It really is! So you're just here for your job?
Jake, settle down, son.
And our friendship, was that just a blend in too? Did you ever care about me at all? Was any of it real, huh?
Jake, calm down.
Don't tell me what to do. I need answers.
I don't owe you anything. It's my life. Step off, Jake.
This is an amazing scene that just feels like a fever dream in the way that the argument escalates. The bond is visibly crumbling while you think about the connotations of what's about to happen. You see where both characters are coming from, and if they talk more calmly, they could have figured things out. But no, Jake just doesn't listen. He's too stubborn, too paranoid, too unpredictable to even listen to what Tom has to say. He thinks it can't possibly get worse. But then, something goes very, very wrong. His agency fires him. At this point, Tom is beyond the point of return, and all Jake can do is mindlessly apologise and watch as the life of his friend collapse before his own eyes. Before this point, Tom was considering quitting his job for him. That's how strong their connection was. But Tom says it best on episode 7. He's a stranger, someone who he doesn't know, and now, not only is his career gone after the show ends, and it's all to blame on the person he trusted most. This is excellent drama, one where you can see the perspectives of both characters, knowing it wasn't the fault of either, it was due to both of their character flaws. Take notes, all stars! Anyway, regardless of all that, the next episode has Tom reflecting, and he realised that he was being a bit selfish himself, and poorly communicated with Jake. So, with nothing to lose at this point, he makes up with Jake, and I'm just gonna let this scene play out.
You think you weren't meant to be a spy?
I don't know. But it's not like I have a choice anymore.
What are you doing?
I don't work there anymore. I don't need this. My first job was a couple months ago. I was sloppy, and I got found out. Things went wrong, and my captors gave me this. The boss wasn't happy. I was tasked to come onto the show as a contestant to investigate it, and this job was my last chance. And I blew it.
Were you using that mask to hide your identity, or were you...
That's just an excuse. The truth is, I felt ashamed. I know my scars are hideous.
But you look good, Tom.
Stop lying.
I'm not.
Now this is how you make a powerful scene. Not only from a voice acting perspective, seriously, both of the voice actors kill it, but also emotionally. This is the first moment where we finally get to see the full extent of Tom's character. His face, his background, this is the most he's ever opened up. His mask is finally taken off, and we learn about the trauma he's dealt with and how emotionally challenged he has been. Fucking incredible. After this, it seems like it'll be smooth sailing from here. Tom and Jake are not only friends again, but dating and in the best place they've ever been. Tom has resolved his character flaw, and it seems like he's finally going to get the happy ending he deserves.
Until...
You see, there's one problem in all of this, and that problem is Ellie. Now, Ellie is a whole different can of worms herself, and probably one of the next few characters I'm going to cover in this series, but that aside, things go very wrong very quick. You see, Ellie doesn't exactly have it easy in life. She overworks herself every day, having to maintain 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. She'll do anything for money, and when I say anything, I mean it. You see, Ellie has come to the realization that when it comes down to 4 people, her alliance is definitely going to stab her in the back. So, with the help of Fiora and Alex's manipulation, she comes up with a plan. She's going to exploit Jake's character flaw. He's easily manipulated, and his emotional trauma from a toxic relationship. Using this, she makes something up about Tom, a lie so horrible and far from the truth that Jake believes her. I mean, why wouldn't he? Ellie is a close friend and would never lie, especially about something this extreme. Obviously, Jake is heartbroken by this, and does what he does best, freak out without any explanation, without listening to him, without even taking into consideration the lies he's just been told. And all this culminates in a situation where it looks like Jake's about to be voted out, and now his fate lies in the hands of Tom. I'm just gonna say it, this is one of the best eliminations in the entire series, The drama, the voice acting, the tension, and the emotional hook. It's got everything. In the end, it's revealed that Fiore and Alec actually voted for Tom, putting his time on the show to an end. What a journey it's been. He went from an antisocial, mysterious guy we knew nothing about to one of the most rootable people in the entire season, with an amazing plot and an excellently written romance, even if it did end in tragedy. Surely his next season will be able to maintain this consistently great writing. Right? Right?
I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, and I have, you heard Aiden, man's got a man.
Now, before the Tom defenders start attacking me for what I'm about to say here, let me just remind you of what I said at the beginning of the video. I do agree that from a writing perspective, he was terrible in All-Stars. Keep in mind the key term, writing perspective, because if I'm being honest, that's the only major flaw with him in this season. He has a lot of great stuff about him. For instance, now that the real Tom is full on display, for all 15 episodes he's in, we finally get to see more of his goofy side. I think aside from Yul, Tom is the funniest character in this season. As long as it's not related to Jake, pretty much all of the jokes land.
Kind of distant.
That stunt she pulled at the last challenge was slimy as hell.
What did she do?
Remember? She shoved you?
Oh, that. Well, it didn't hurt. I'm fine.
She shoved you onto me. In front of Jake.
Oh.
This is partly due to the writing of the jokes, yes, but what really makes these funny is Jace Hansen's consistently amazing performance. Like, seriously, I cannot emphasize enough how this guy is easily the best voice actor in the entire show. This is a man who perfectly understands what is needed for this character at all times, the emotional, relaxed, and even comedic times. Keep in mind this guy also wrote Tomjake, which as we'll see later, you can tell this was made with genuine passion and sincerity behind the character of Tom. It's no wonder he's now the voice director. Anyway, as well as that, Tom has some amazing character dynamics this season, with Aiden in particular being a highlight. Now I know people tend to dislike this friendship due to the plot it's associated with, which is fair enough to be honest. But as far as the actual connection goes itself, these two are amazing together. Something about the combination of Tom's naiveness and himbo energy with Aiden's slight snark, yet full of sincerity, really mix well together. I especially love the conversation they had about their scars. That was genuinely amazing. This dynamic is partly why I'm happy Aiden and Tom are returning for season 5. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely better options, but if we get to see these two interact more, then that's okay with me in my book. As for other dynamics, I'd like to mention Connor, Ashley, Tess, Miriam and Gabby. Sometimes. But of course, I've been avoiding his main dynamic, the big claim to fame this season, Jake. And unfortunately, this is where he starts to fall apart. I'm sorry, but these two are just so bafflingly awful in this season together. It's definitely not helped by the quote-unquote romance between Tom and Aiden. I say this with heavy quotation marks because it's all in Jake's head and it's absolutely awful. I hate it. That sounds awful. I hate it. Look, if you ask me, the worst possible plotline you could possibly put in any form of media is a love triangle. It always feels so desperate to make things more interesting, but all it does is force you to watch something painfully unpleasant. The only thing that's ever successfully pulled it off is Comey Can't Communicate, something that I really should talk about on this channel sometime, huh? Oh wait, where was I? Oh yeah, Tom sucks! I won't get into this plotline too much, considering that's far more of a Jake problem than a Tom one, but what I can talk about is Tom's awful attempts to fix things with Jake. Now, I understand that he was nervous to do it and he didn't want to get hurt again and all that, but come on, he had 2 years to mentally prepare himself, and if that wasn't bad enough, the whole reason he even accepted the invitation to All Stars was because of Jake. It makes zero sense for him to be actively avoiding him, and the whole lie about having a boyfriend was stupid too, but the worst part about this is the fact that this plot goes on forever, and thanks to this dreadful pacing, by the time Tom gets eliminated and promises to fix things with Jake, he's had like 2 conversations with him throughout the entire game, and none of them were positive, so it feels a bit like it came out of nowhere when Tom's suddenly in love with him again in episode 19. Is it in character? Yes. Is it narratively satisfying? Hell no. Anyway, in the last episode they end up going back together, and it feels so rushed and forced because the build-up was paced terribly. Honestly, this plotline was absolutely awful and a shocking misfire for a shit that's usually really great. So that was Tom and All Stars. A mixed bag, definitely, but honestly a lot better than I remember him being. But now, it's time to talk about Tomjake.
They call me the Wicked Witch.
I thought it was the Wicked
Ow!
Okay, so I'm going to go episode by episode for this, starting with episode 1, by far the most controversial episode in this season. This starts off with a dream sequence from Tom, which is a great way to start the show, playing into both his emotional fears from Jake and his trauma from being cut, mixed in with a little Jensen. My one complaint with this, however, is how Tom somehow managed to perfectly predict 3 of the members on his team, Ellie and Gabby's new clothes, and Aiden getting a haircut. Like, that just felt lazy. Anyway, after that, we get an opening scene of Tom's shitty morning routine, and we get to meet Tom's new partner in crime, anti-crime, Lucia. I think Lucia is a seriously underrated character who doesn't get nearly the amount of praise she deserves. Is she a support character? Yes, but an excellent one who is funny, charming, and doesn't feel like a therapist, more of a caring friend, who also happens to be voiced by the same person as Linda, which is also pretty cool. From here, we get a sequence of Tom talking about his time on the show, which is really nice, and really helps contribute to the laid-back atmosphere we get in Tomjake. After this, we get quite an interesting scene where Lucia gives Tom's address so he can stalk him. What the fuck? Dude, you were doing so well. Then you pull this? Not only is this illegal, but also creepy. This is the one major flaw I cannot defend for this episode. However, I think Tom listening to Jake's voicemails is a great scene, another emotional one that I think characterises Tom very well, which is why I need to get into Tom ghosting Jake. I've seen many people criticise this, calling it stupid and out of character, and I'm going to have to disagree with that. As we learned from season 1, Tom is sensitive and has a lot of trauma on his hands, and obviously after what happened between him and Jake, he'd feel pretty upset. After all, due to his rough upbringing, Jake was the first person he really opened up to, and for him to just throw it all away without letting him explain anything, I mean, you'd be upset too. So I think this is perfectly in character and acceptable. And with that, that's all I have to say for this episode. I thought it was pretty great, but definitely the weakest of the 4, partially due to the whole stalking thing. As well as that, quite a decent chunk of it was just season 1 flashbacks. 7 out of 10.
Aw, you busy guy. Do you have any time left for me?
Now for this one, I don't really have quite as much to say, as this is definitely more focused on Jake and Ellie. But we still do get this really neat opening scene, which directly parallels episode 1. Because now, Jake is here and Tom's happy, which is sweet. But now, we finally get to talk about Gom, which is great, because I love this pairing. Easily one of the most wholesome and entertaining dynamics in the entire series. Seeing these two get up to goofy stuff is just really nice to watch. I think they're probably at their best in this episode, especially considering they don't have to worry about the game getting in the way anymore. They bounce off of each other really well, and also just really silly fun in general. In this episode, they go searching for a garden gnome. This has a neat little side plot. As I said earlier, they're not the main focus of this episode, but definitely add to its enjoyment. And that's really all there is to say. This one's pretty great. 8 out of 10.
What does Tom like? Cinnamon powdered?
Double glazed with blueberry jam.
Don't sound so sure.
Okay, now this is why I said Tom was at his best in Tomjake. This episode really digs into Tom's past and his trauma. This episode starts off with the reveal Tom got injured on the job due to his kindness in trying to de-escalate a situation between his co-worker and someone who pulled over. Not only is this perfectly in character, but it adds an emotional hook for Lucia and especially Jake. Anyway, after that we get yet another dream sequence, except this one is more of a flashback than anything, revealing Tom's rather rough childhood and how he had an abusive father. We're also introduced to Tom's mum in this scene, yet another welcome addition to the season. I really like her. She's pretty cool and also quite badass for someone who's a mum, yet also sweet and caring when needed. You can definitely tell she's his mum because Tom has a very similar personality. So, once again, good job, Joyce. Once Tom wakes up in the hospital, he feels understandably awful, and this time around we get to see Jake comfort Tom, which is nice to see considering it's usually the other way around. Seriously, these two have excellent chemistry in this show, and I really appreciate the fact that they never get into any arguments just for the sake of drama. We also get this amazing scene of Tom being afraid of the knife Jake's holding, and once again, I love this. You can really feel the fear oozing out of him, and it's probably the best scene in this episode. But now, it's time for this episode to wrap up with Tom reuniting with his mother, and I have to say the show is really good at keeping up consistently great dynamics, especially the ones with Tom. It's really nice to see them reflect on his childhood, as Tom finishes his arc this season of learning he doesn't want to be a police officer anymore. As it's not in his nature to be violent, he instead becomes a lifeguard which instead focuses on saving lives rather than catching criminals, and this amazing episode is put to an end. 9.5 out of 10, easily the best spin-off episode.
Well, I was thinking maybe the next wedding I planned was ours.
It's finale time, and we start off with Tom quitting his job. Once again, Lucia and him have excellent chemistry, and this scene is a prime example of that. Tom's main focus this episode is him trying to get a gift for Jake, which means more gom on top of that. As I said before, these two work really well together, and are definitely at their silliest here. Them singing Piggyback was cute, and I really liked the conversation they had after that, which was made even better by possibly Gabby's funniest joke in the entire series.
Watch where you're going! Can you believe some people walk on the sidewalk? The audacity!
But then, we get Gom's magnum opus, the cabin scene, which is also really funny. I let the best clips from this scene play out.
Aw, so cute!
Gabs, I just heard a door.
Shit, Tom! Someone have entered the cabin!
What? No!
I'm coming!
Just think of a clever distraction.
Woohoo! I'm clever distraction! Yeah!
Whoever you are in big trouble!
Sorry.
No, please. Wait, is that a squirt gun?
Hop in!
Oh, we, have a car already?
Dang it. I always wanted to do that.
You know, one thing I haven't mentioned yet about Tomjake is how corny it is. Not in the bad way, more in the same vein as Ali's gamer jokes in All Stars. I mean, yeah, it's a bit cringe, but in an amusing and wholesome way. Wait, what do you mean most people don't like them? Anyway, once that scene is said and done, the rest of the episode from here isn't really focused on Tom, more Jake and his relationship with Sean. I think this is fair enough, considering how he was pretty much the main character of episodes 1 and 3, so it's important to balance it out. But eventually, we get a scene... Oh my fucking god. But eventually, we get a scene between Tom and Jake, where Tom finally presents his gift. Except for the fact that mischievous little Gabs felt like a rebel today, and decided to destroy it. Then Tom's like, no. Then Jake's like, oh, don't worry, it's the thought that counts. Then they have Say Gex. The end. Nah, I'm just messing with you. We get a time skip to show all the cool things that happen in the following 6 weeks, followed by one final romantic scene, a surprise picnic at Camp Tipperscore. And this is a very adorable scene. It's got a lot of great things. The proposal Jake does, followed by Tom's reaction, the fact that they're eating donuts and watermelons, oh my god, they did the thing! The fact that Gabby's final line in the series is actually the word shit. That will never not be hilarious. And finally, when Tom shares the same gift, only this time it's been broken but fixed. And Jake says this. Hey guys, editing Scar here. I made a little mistake there. Jake actually repairs it himself and gives it to Tom instead, and then he says the quote. That's my bad. I don't know how I did that because I wrote that section literally straight after rewatching episode 4. That was a slip up, my bad. Apologies for that, but yeah, Jake's actually the one to give him the gift, and then he says this.
After it broke, I eventually realized it gave it even more meaning. Just like us. Despite everything, we weathered the storm.
And you know what? As well as representing this couple, I think this also represents Tom in this series as a whole. Despite all his flaws, how terrible his writing was in All Stars, he still manages to be one of the best characters in the entire series, and I for one could not be happier to say that. Tom's journey on this show has truly been amazing. And that's a wrap on another video. Wow, am I glad to get that one. That one took a long time to make. Now, let's get it uploaded. Ooh, who could that be? Hello? Wait, what do you mean there's gonna be a Tomjake season 2? And he's gonna be in DC5? Why? I mean, I guess so, but couldn't they use new characters for Yaoi Bait? Fine. I guess I'll have to make a part 2 when those two come out. See you guys in the next video, everyone. Like and subscribe for more content. Yeah.